January 1st, 2012. Adequate notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been furnished by inclusion thereof in the annual schedule of meetings for 2012, which has been posted on the bulletin board of Borough Hall, filed with Borough Clerk, fax to the Our Town, the record, the TV news, and the county seat newspapers, and distribute all persons with any requesting copies of same pursuant to that. In case of emergency or fire alarm, you must evacuate the building by using any of the exit doors in the room. There will be rooms to my right and the double doors at the rear of the room. Occupants must exit the building by using the staircase and not the elevator. This meeting is being recorded by both video and audio and may be broadcast.
Everybody please rise for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Pantano. Here. Councilman Savage, Jackson, Fleischman.
Here.
Oriana.
Here.
Debray.
Here.
Gallerini.
Here.
Neglio.
Here.
Borough Attorney Ron Rosario.
Here.
Borough Clerk Administrator Garcia. Borough Administrator Roberta Stern.
Here.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Several items. One, the quick biller's question. On the front page of the bill list, we have human traffic, paid out of the parking adjudication fund. What is that for?
All street signs?
The new street signs?
Yes, the reflective ones that we add. These are mostly just the stick-ons. Even though on some of the, on one of the bills, we did buy some new poles for the street signs.
Thank you. Also on the agenda, Resolution 71-12, wanted to get a copy of the agreement.
The agreement is essentially the proposal. I'm waiting for a signature from Hackensack, but it is pretty much the proposal for the board.
So the proposal isn't done yet. Does that have to wait tonight, or we can move forward?
No, we can move forward, but we have the agreement in principle.
Well, actually, we don't have an original. We have the copy that was faxed to us, and I let them know today that we had never received an original, copy, but in fact it was passed by the council, and we do have a copy of that resolution.
So when it's complete, we can move forward a copy?
Absolutely.
That'd be wonderful, thank you. Also, Resolution 75-12. I'm not sure if there's a problem with the wording in the second whereas paragraph. I believe the $11,000 figure is for the surveying and engineering. I think the second figure is for construction management. I don't know if that wording needs to be changed or that needs to be spelled out here and what that other dollar amount is for.
Sorry, can you just repeat that one?
The original, the first dollar amount represents the engineering and surveying, and I think the second dollar amount represents construction management of that project, so I'm not sure if that needs to be spelled out differently in there.
Okay.
Right, I think that's what their letter or their proposal says.
11,295 for engineering and surveying, 10,805 for construction management.
Just so everybody doesn't think it's double that, but I think
Right.
Cost not to exceed. The one-time and material basis is in accordance with our tax schedule of fees for cost not to exceed $10,805.
Right, but is it right on the proposal, it says that's the construction?
Construction management. I think so.
April 12th letter.
I think that just was left out of the,
I think construction management, just
Yeah.
that was, right?
So we'll amend it to add construction management.
right.
Right?
I would suggest that this would take up with our text schedule of fees, just to say representing construction management services. Right?
Because even if you copyright item sentence number 2 on their agreement, right?
We'll amend that.
Just add in the phrase representing construction management services. Right?
That makes sense, just to make the resolution clear so it doesn't all look like it's engineering and surveying. Also, with that same project, under the same lines, I believe with DOT grants, we have to do, after they're done paving, the core samples they want after we're done paving. Is that also included in their fee? Or where is that fee going to come from, out of the cost of the job? Right, when we did the avenue and some of the main...
Usually, I mean,
streets,
it's not done at the
yeah.
end, it's doing during. I mean, you don't wait till the end to do it, you've got to do it while they're paving to see
Usually
what...
we get stuck for, not stuck, but having to pay for someone to come in and do that. Should that be added to their service agreement, or is that something, a separate contract?
I don't think it's a separate contract, but I think we can definitely check it and make whatever adjustments we have to make. I think that should be part of it.
Just
For the
adds-
core samples.
Just adds to how much we can and can't pay. Also, on the agenda, there's a couple of appointments on there for the swim pool and the summer camp. One of the other things we discussed at the swim pool meeting was having a list of summer staff appointed as well. I guess Mr. Meglio would be concerned for the rec program and also for the pool. I think if we wait longer to appoint these people, they might take other jobs.
In my discussion with Ralph, we decided we were going to put the core staff on now, but since some of the people who are going to, he has a list, they've all been notified. They're just not on because they won't be finished with school, and we had enough time to put them on at a future date.
But they've been notified that they will be...
That's my understanding. He gave me the entire list of who has accepted the positions.
And I have a closed session personnel item for later on. If you want to close. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Ms. Oriana, anything on or off the agenda?
So I did my general report now, Mr. Mayor?
No, only if you adding something to the agenda or discussing something on the agenda.
No, I will have some things that are not on the agenda for close.
Bellerini, anything on?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on the agenda, I'd like to add under resignations, I'd like to bring to the council's attention the letter that we received back in February 16th regarding the retirement of Lieutenant Liebman. I think the council should add that to the agenda and acknowledge that.
I think that...
Anything else, Mr. Bellerini?
Off the agenda, there are a couple of things I wanted to follow up on. The parking enforcement officer, I met with the chief this morning. He said that he had submitted numbers up for review for adding a second parking enforcement officer. Do you have those numbers?
I have those numbers, but the council has not taken any action on that appointment as of yet.
Well, I don't even know if they have a candidate. I haven't gotten that from the chief. He just was wondering if we had...
We certainly,
I had left it.
no, we have it, and it's been distributed, to the best of my knowledge, a while ago, but I can certainly redistribute it.
The memo?
The memo. It's an early memo.
Right, it is. It's from several months ago. What I was asking about was a request that was made the last time we had this discussion to have numbers sent to Chuck, so Chuck could validate the numbers.
I'm not sure that was done. I'll have to ask him. I don't remember Mr. Cuccia coming back to me on that, but I think that there were some other issues, frankly, besides validating the numbers, whether or not, in fact, because we're also talking about getting the handheld device from the e-ticketing people whose contract is on for approval tonight, whether or not that would, affect one way or the other. We might wait to hire that second person until we see what's happening with the e-ticketing progress.
Okay. So the e-ticketing thing does not include handheld?
It did,
Yeah,
but that was taken off the proposal to save some money. When we had our last meeting, the chief said that he felt that we could wait for that.
Right, okay. So I guess we're status quo.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just ask you a question about that? Okay, the chief wants it taken off because to save money now, but is it gonna cost us more later?
No.
Okay. You know, sometimes.
Yeah, the chief and I had a meeting this morning. There's a number of issues related to retirements and promotions that we should probably start getting some proposals on from the police department with regard to the vacancies. Obviously, Lieutenant Lehman's retirement being official. But
Do you want to go over that
pending
report? Do you
requirements.
want to?
You know, it's one of those things where there's no formal plan around this yet. It's just more of a discussion item. I'd like to bring it to the council's attention so that we can start thinking about, you know, the requests that are going to be coming. I mean, basically what the situation as it sits right now is that there are 3 vacant positions on the roster according to the table of organization. We also have an officer assigned out to the DEA. So from a, you know, field coverage standpoint, that's 4 spots.
I'm just talking about for this session, before we get into the regular session.
Yeah.
To look at that in your report at the regular session, and we can discuss it, or you have any...
Well, I mean, yeah, if it's appropriate.
Adding to the agenda.
Yeah, I feel like the discussion part, you know, seems to take place better here, but I can just report on what I've got, and we'll add it to the record, and then we can pick it up at the next work session. That's okay. I'm done. Thank you, sir.
That's Maywood.
More in my report, I put that the recreation committee, one of its members resigned effectively yesterday. I did mention that more in my report, what we're going to do about it. And also, the same as Councilman Fleischman, I do need to act on being able to bring on counselors for the summer program. The supervisor has been approved, but the teenage counselors need to approve hiring them before they move on to other jobs, so we can act on that this evening, please.
Actually, Mr. Mayor, if I might, Yvette just was interviewing these people last week, so I can't imagine them moving on to anything, and she never got back to me to tell me how those interviews, you know, resulted in anything, so I don't think we're missing anything yet.
Well, that's good, well, then it's just a miscommunication.
I think so.
And I will clarify that, but, you know, as of the sentiment, what we were told yesterday, they thought that it wasn't moving forward, so I'll clarify that then with the recreation people. Okay. Okay.
Anything else, sir?
No, thank you, no, that was it.
Council President Borough.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. On the agenda, just with regard to the approval of the fire department's request for permission to attend various out-of-town functions, I spoke with Chief Malone tonight, and I wanted to get clarification that the request to use Truck 17 was not the Borough, was not the loaner that we have right now. It, in fact, is the Borough's, and he agreed to that, and should, I guess he's being optimistic, should the Borough get Truck 17 back in time, they will use that one and not the loaner. Off the agenda, I hope everyone has had a chance to look at the fire police bylaws that I had put in your mailbox, and I would like to move on that tonight if possible. I know the attorney has had a chance to look at them, and he said there's no problem. With regard to the volunteer services off the agenda, I want to alert the council that I plan on asking to increase the clothing allowance in the amount of $1,500 for each service, volunteer service, ambulance, fire police, and fire department. There will be no increase in the budget because there's a line item that hasn't been changed for the public defender. There's a $6,000 salary amount there that doesn't reflect the new salary ordinance, and coming out of that, it'd still be a negative $1,500 that there's a savings. So I don't think I need to tell you guys the I don't think I need to make a case for the importance of our volunteer services, and the $1,500 extra, they haven't had a change in a while, and so I plan on asking that as an amendment for the budget when we do amendments.
What would that be roughly per person? I know it depends on how many volunteers,
Yeah,
but...
I know, I can tell you for the fire police,
Yeah,
that there's obviously,
yeah.
I can tell you that one.
Right.
For the fire police, should everybody make the maximum amount of calls, it would be $50 extra per person.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, quite a bit.
And, along those lines, the last time they had a change, I'm sure gasoline was about a third of what it is now. And I know, speaking for the fire police only, keep their cars running throughout the whole call, and especially in the winter, because your light's on, you don't want the drained battery, you want to get into a warm car, so you're there for about at least half hour, sometimes an hour, and, gas goes. So, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Question?
Sure.
Clothing allowance, you mentioned the fire police and who else?
Fire department and ambulance squad. There's a lot, I discussed a lot. So an increase of $1,500 each.
Okay, so you're aware how the fire department one works, right?
Yes.
And that's done by ordinance. And it's 18.8 right now, right in the budget, I believe, Chuck? Okay, now, we'll have to get into that, but we'll have to discuss that in budget amendments.
That's what I suggested.
We need appropriate time to work on that.
Yeah, and I think that's a suggestion, we're not asking us to vote on it.
No, I'm asking, I'm just alerting the council that I intend to ask that as an amendment when we do amendments.
Okay. All right, just wanted to...
No, I appreciate that.
Quick question. Do we give a clothing allowance to our EMT folks?
Yes, ma'am.
That's important.
That's in there. Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Not right now, Mr. Mayor. No, thank you.
At this time, Mr. Mayor.
I would just like to remind everyone that who hasn't, the people who are currently going to fill out their financial disclosure statement, that they were in the box tonight. And you come back at your earliest convenience. That's it.
Mrs. Stern,
Nothing at the moment.
an item to close. Taking a motion to adjourn until 8:15?
Motion to adjourn till 8:15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Get you out there. At this time, I would ask Reverend Nelson Culinary to come forward for the invocation. Everybody please stand.
Give us grace, O God, to set a good example to all among whom we live and serve. Give us wisdom to be just and true in all our dealings. Call forth our integrity that we will be conscientious in every duty and generous and kind toward everyone. Bless this meeting, that all gathered here may use their authority faithfully and promote the welfare of our common life. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Take a roll call.
Mayor Madonna.
Here?
Councilman Savage is absent. Weiss.
Here.
Mariano.
Who's facing in for the record?
Debray.
Here.
Valerini.
Here.
Neglio.
Here.
Borough Attorney Ron Ontario.
Here.
Borough Clerk Ms. here. Borough Administrator Roberta Schiff.
Here.
Proclamations, public hearing of ordinances. Will now open the meeting to the public. Any members of the public who never heard, come forward. All right, Mr. Brown, come on.
John Brown, 41 Stelling Avenue. April 19th, our town had the public notice for our budget. I think there was a typo in there, about $1 million.
It will be,
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone Anyone else? All right, close the meeting to the public. Approval of the minutes. Take a motion to the minutes. One more. I'm sorry.
Sorry. John Mercedes, 158 Van Cleave Street. I'm pretty sure you guys know why I came here today.
And you're on the agenda?
I am.
You are.
Should I sit back and wait, or?
You are number one. Council approval for the 5K race on October 14th, 2012.
Approved?
Well, let's not count our chickens, but we're getting there. Tune in. Stay tuned. Anybody else? All right. Close to the public again. Entertain a motion on the minutes.
Motion.
Second. Approval of the March 13, 2012 work session and closed session minutes and the March 27, 2012 council meeting and closed session. Roll call.
Fleischman?
Yes, to March 13th, and same for the 27th. I was absent that evening.
Ms. Oriana.
Yes, on both.
Mr. Bellerin.
Yes.
Dr. Megley.
Yes.
Council President Brett.
Yes.
Solicitation of bills, claims, and requests. This is the initial bill list, which was
Supplemental.
As well as the two-page council.
this one. All right. This is for the initial bill list. The supplemental bill list is the last page of the bills, double-sided bill list. So, first motion for approval will be just for the initial bill list.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Fleischman?
Yes.
Oriana?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Allegany?
Yes.
Mayfield?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as to the supplemental bill list, that is the last page of the bill, double-sided page. So I have a motion.
Move the approval.
Second. Roll call.
Fleischman?
Yes.
Oriana?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Allegany?
Yes.
Mayfield?
Yes.
Resignations. Request to add the acceptance of Officer Liebman's February 13th, 2012 notice of resignation. I would suggest the board is going to accept that, the council is going to accept that they accept it conditioned on memorialization of the resignation by resolution.
I'll make a motion to accept the letter with notice that memorialization will happen on our next regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Fleischman?
Yes.
Oriana?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Allegany?
Yes.
Mayfield?
Yes.
Appointments. Number one, for the 2012 swim pool season, Ralph Manor was swim pool manager at salary of $13,800. David Wells, assistant swim pool manager at salary of $8,800. Austin Way is assistant swim pool manager / lifeguard advisor at salary of $8,000. Number two, Yvette Ortega Uve as summer program director for the 2012 season at a salary of $20 per hour. Number three, James Hannah as alternate number 2 member of the Maywood Planning Board for a term expiring December 31st, 2015. Motion.
Move the appointment.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Fleischman?
Yes.
Oriana?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Allegany?
Yes.
Mayfield?
Yes.
There are 4 items listed on the council approval list, and the 5th item that Council President Bray asked bylaws of the fire police be added. Number 1 is the Carlos Mercedes to request to hold a 5K race on October 14, 2012. Number 2, the Adler Aphasia Center to place signs at the corner of Maywood Avenue and Essex Street and Passaic Street and Nickerson Park during the month of June to commemorate the Aphasia Awareness Month. You all received a letter today. Number 3, outdoor dining permit request from the Maywood Inn and the Oak Ale House. approved by the zoning officer from May 1, 2012 through October 25, 2012. Number 4, from the Maywood Fire Department, request permission to attend various out-of-town functions with fire apparatus, May 12, 2012, May 12th, is that what it is? 2012, East Rutherford, May 27th, Saddlebrook Parade, May 28th, Rochelle Park Memorial Day Parade, and June 6th to June 9th, Wallington Wet Down. And with the stipulation, I guess, that Council President Borough also indicated that vehicle that has been designated as Truck 17 right now, which is the loaner apparatus that we have from the county, will not be utilized at these functions, and that if we actually have our Truck 17, original Truck 17 back, that will be used.
Agreed.
And number 5, the acceptance of the bylaws, draft bylaws, as prepared by the borough attorney for the fire police.
I'm sorry, as reviewed by the Borough Attorney.
I'm sorry, that reviewed by the borough attorney. Do I have a motion for approval?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Fleischman?
Yes.
Oriana?
Yes.
Labrecque?
Yes.
Valentin?
Yes.
Neglia?
Yes.
Resolution 7012, authorizing agreement with County of Bergen for emergency services notification system. Resolution 7112, resolution ratifying the interlocal agreement with the city of Hackensack for the collection of deductibles in the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey. Resolution 7312, resolution confirming the details of the sale of general improvement bonds series 2012 in the aggregate principal amount of $845,977 of the Borough of Maywood, New County of Bergen, New Jersey, to the New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust and the State of New Jersey pursuant to the SFY 2012 New Jersey Environmental Infrastructure Trust Financial Program. Resolution 7312, resolution awarding professional services contract to EWMA in the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey. Resolution 7412, resolution awarding professional services contract to Gov Office for the creation of and maintenance of the digital website in the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey. Resolution 7512, resolution awarding professional services contract to Neglia Engineering associated with surveying and engineering services for the Spring Valley Road project, NJDOT municipal aid grant to the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey, as amended. Resolution 7612, resolution awarding professional services contract to Gold Tide Business Machines Incorporated for new ticketing system in the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey.
Motion.
Second.
Fleischman?
Yes.
Oriana?
Yes.
Labrecque?
Yes.
Valentin?
Yes.
Neglia?
Yes.
No ordinances, committee reports. Mr. Fleischman.
Yes, just very quickly, Mr. Mayor, just want to remind everyone that Friday, April 27th, the committee will be doing an Arbor Day celebration at Memorial School at 10:45 a.m. They'll be planting 2 aristocrat pear trees on the front lawn to replace the ones that were damaged during the storms in October. So all are invited to attend. Hopefully see you all there. That's all I have for right now, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Ms. Oriana.
Briefly, Nike Shoe Store gave a recycle program at the Maywood Memorial School on Friday. Talk about bring your used old sneakers to Nike, and they will recycle them. They will be put to use and tabulated into different things. Another way to save the environment. I understand. I missed the program. I was caught up in another matter. But I understand it was very informing to both the students and the teachers of the school, and that they have another insight in ways to save planet Earth. With regard to the DPW, my understanding is that the pool has been pumped out, power washed, and painted last week. So I think the pool is ready to go. They're finishing up on changing the pool locker room screens. I believe the ball fields are set and are now being used by the MYAA for the visual ball season. Street signs When the roads are completed, I'm not sure if there's any more to be done to the street signs. I think they're done.
Most of them are done.
I think they hope shortly to begin, weather permitting, to plant shrubs on Pleasant Avenue and disempower the pool and complete painting and stuff going on in Borough. And that's pretty much it. I have some things for closed.
Valerie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. From the municipal court, just wanted to advise the council that the e-ticketing installation system, our first one, will be installed tomorrow, April 25th. I spoke with Sergeant Korn. He promised a summary of the initial setup and test results. It should also be noted that Sergeant Korn reworked the contract, as we were discussing earlier, resulting in a 30% decrease in the fees. Received a disbursement report. Disbursements for the borough were $17,824.04 for the month of March, bringing the year-to-date total $51,771.10. Excuse me, the planning board. The next meeting of the planning board is scheduled for Thursday, April 26th in these chambers. The board will be hearing an application related to a new medical office building at 113 Essex Street. From the police department, regarding the DEA seizures, to date, the total forfeiture funds accrued is $349,318. Transferred to our account is $143,140. I spoke at length with the chief this morning about some of the allocations and uses for those funds. Things like backup communication systems, new hire salary, an automatic license plate reader, a second one. We have one that's currently being installed, an electronic sign at 15 Park Avenue, security cameras for Pleasant Avenue and the parks, an upgrade to the computer-aided dispatch system and the computer systems that support it, among other things. A couple last points. On April 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Maywood Police Department will be open for anyone wishing to dispose of their unused or unwanted prescription drugs. You can bring them to this facility, Maywood Police Department headquarters. Again, that's this Saturday, 10 to 2. On Saturday, May 19th, the MPOA will be holding a fundraiser for Officer Michael Murphy. Our understanding is that the tickets are sold out, but donations are still accepted. Please check the Police Department website, maywoodpd.org, for details. And in addition to the website, note also that the department has accounts with Twitter and Nixle to broadcast news and information related to the department. One last item that we had started to discuss in the work session with regard to staffing of the police department. The chief and I went through kind of a lengthy review of where we were today, where we might be come August 1 with some pending retirements, and what we'd be looking at come the turn of the year. And we see the overtime numbers from 2011 compared to 2010. They're up significantly. There were a number of retirements in 2010 and 2011. We did move one of our officers off to assignment with the DEA. We had another officer that was off on assignment with the Army Reserves. As it stands right now, there are 3 open positions on the roster. In the table of organization, there are also 2 senior positions that are currently not filled, captain position and 2 sergeant positions. We do have the new officer that was hired in January will be back and on the street in June for training. He'll be ready to assume active road responsibilities 3 months after that. But we do have 3 pending retirements. As was mentioned earlier, we accepted the retirement of Lieutenant Liebman. There are 2 other retirements that are pending. I talked to the chief about what we could do to sort of mitigate the impact of that senior leadership leaving, and he's very much of the opinion that we should be bringing in experienced officers. If we do that, obviously the cost is a little bit higher because just the way the contract is written. Anybody who's not coming in and sponsored to the academy is going to be subject to a higher pay scale. Obviously nowhere near the top of the pay scale where the folks that are leaving, so we're okay from a budget standpoint. But there still is a ramp-up period to get to know the town, to get to know the department. So he's expecting that an experienced person could be ready in as little as 2 months. So regardless of where things stand from a candidate position, he wants to begin that process of bringing in resumes and having folks come in for interviews. So he's going to get a pool of candidates together for consideration. And then he'd also like to consider possibly bringing in, another new hire candidate and putting them through the academy. The way the scheduling works out with the academy, the new academy starting in August, we wouldn't have that candidate returned to us until January 1, again with a 3-month lead time. So we've got a lot coming up. We've got a lot of kind of timeframes to consider as far as replacements being added. So I think it's important that, over the next couple of meetings that we really start to put together with the chief and with the council a more formalized plan with regard to some of the staffing issues. So any discussion on that, but that's it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Maywood. Board of Health, as everybody is aware, but just to reiterate again, is having their health fair Saturday, May 19th at the senior center. They are approaching everybody in their mailbox got a notification from Mary Cotton reiterating that, and also addressing that we're going to be asking Michael Jordan if we could use the front of their school, the fence, to put a banner up for town reminding that. Dane Park, we had our first, we had a Dane Park a meeting. There was some trepidation and some issues regarding the amount of events that happened over the summer. Issues of people being awake. We have discussed that, and our thoughts right now are that we will move the day of the park to the fall, make it the Maywood Fall Festival. Something I think that makes a lot of sense. We have multiple in-summer events. A lot of people are away over the summer, and then right after Labor Day, there is essentially nothing. So we're looking at the end of September, beginning of October, to do a Maywood Fall Festival, and we will reconvene the committee very shortly to start planning that. The dog park is moving along nicely. The borough administrator continues to work with fencing companies. Now that we have a plan to get prices, I understand we're also looking at now adding a 4-foot fence as a barrier between the playground and the park itself. I guess obviously to prevent little kids from just running over, which makes a lot of sense. So that is moving along nicely. From the Recreation Board Committee, unfortunately, Mr. Michael Kumos has resigned effective yesterday. He had a business and family commitments that he felt he could not maintain his duties to the committee. What I'd like to do, Mr. Mayor, is work with the committee to get a list of several people, and then put that to you to make a decision as to who you'd like to replace that. We are actually down 2 people. So I'll give you a list of 5 or 6 people that you can pick from, if possible. May is Youth Month, and the students who are going to be shadowing the municipal government officials have all been interviewed and they have been assigned. So over the course of next week, you'll all be told who you are, who your shadow will be for the next month. And lastly, just some guidance in this. The first week of August, Lisa and I have been planning a Maywood Jackals Day. They have fireworks that evening. We had looked at $10 tickets for box seats only, but it was brought to my attention that and the Recreation Committee wishes to really likes this idea better, that there is for $33 per person, there is a picnic area where you get free food, free soda. The Jackals mascot comes. They offer beer. However, I was very hesitant to offer beer. I think that we would only take this if they excluded that, and probably did lower the price slightly because of that. Because if we're not offering a ride back and forth, I would be very hesitant to be offering beer to people that have to then drive home with children. But if they were willing to do that, there is a minimum of 40 people for this. I was concerned because of the price. The MYAA is willing and offering to do a joint effort with us, that they're willing to co-sponsor this with us. So I just want to get some ideas, not right now, but as we just go on to as to whether we would want to go with the more conservative $10 just for the ticket to get in, or something more extravagant. That's all right now.
Great, thank you. Council President.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Last Wednesday, I attended the Library Board of Trustees monthly meeting, and I'm happy to report that the newly appointed trustees are fitting right in and are already making a positive impact. There are 2 pending retirements of 2 long-term employees, and somewhere down the line, we probably might want to think about doing a proclamation on their behalf. I'll bring their names when I get them. Sunday, I attended, along with the mayor, the library's open house in celebration of National Library Week, and there was a wonderful turnout, about 60 people in attendance. There was a great band, and while we were there, the mayor mentioned that this would actually be a good setting for maybe perhaps a nighttime invite-only fundraiser. So I did bring that to the ticket sale, and I did bring that to the attention of the trustees, and they were very receptive to that idea, and we're going to be discussing that further. Thank you.
Mr. Attorney.
2 quick things, Mr. Mayor. Greg Poliniak asked me to contact Bill Kohler, the Army Corps of Engineers, in connection with sewer bill and what have you. Mr. Kohler was pretty receptive. He indicated quite a lot of work that he has to put together 39 monthly reports, and he's working on it. He's going to get it over to us shortly. That was the first thing. The second thing was, last meeting we spoke about Truck 17 and those issues, so I made a few calls out to Defender Emergency Products, and I tell you, I'm not all that happy with the response I'm getting, which is nothing. And, I'm going to follow up with a letter I dictated today, which will be going out tomorrow, and I'll keep you informed, but I'm not getting anything back from these people, and I'm concerned, to be honest with you.
It's a valid concern, I'm afraid.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay, Clerk.
In your mail, you received the loss control report on the borough, and I did want to announce that we received the $2,000 safety incentive program gold award, $2,000 check, and I just want to just remind you guys of the financial
Administrator.
Yes, Mayor. Just so everyone is aware of the fact that the new roof membrane has been installed on this building. Luckily, we had a bad rain over the weekend, so a leak was uncovered, and it was fixed the same day. We're still waiting for the roof to be certified by the manufacturer so that the warranty will be in effect, and then the rest of the solar panel work can continue.
Are they on schedule with the solar panel?
They're definitely on schedule. Right now, the only thing we're waiting for is Carlisle. We have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow morning at 8:30. I'll get an update then to where that is, but as of the other day, that had not been done yet. And as I said, I'm glad that it hadn't been done, considering that we had that leak. There were no leaks reported at the library during this rain, which is encouraging, so hopefully the work that Pano did is helping. There was something minor, which I haven't seen yet, but the leaks that would be, and the major leaks haven't been happening. Starting today, the new epoxy flooring is being installed at the pool in both locker rooms. It's down there. It looks like they're really getting down to the base concrete, which will be very nice when the new epoxy is installed, and I think it'll make a very significant difference at the pool. We will be getting a check for $27,632 from Community Development, which is closing out an old block grant for the Orchard, Beach, Brookdale, and Maybrook resurfacing project. I have been after this money for a while, and we finally got that taken care of. I would like to mention that thanks to Councilman Fabre, we have a new part-time employee who's going on ambulance calls. We have been missing out on this income that we do receive from these daytime ambulance calls since Billy Sean has been out sick and another employee had left to become a nurse. And after Councilman Fabre had attended one of the squad's meetings, he recruited this very capable young man who's been very helpful in general in the office. Just to reiterate, a notice was sent to our town. The finance office will be closed from 1 to 2 starting May 1st. There will be other adjustments to hours at various departments. We'll be open and closed, but I'm waiting to put that whole package together before we announce anything. We are also, both Jim Mason and myself, following up on unlicensed landscapers so that everybody participates in that program or runs the risk of having a fine of $1,000 instead of the $125. Excuse me. In the new fee ordinance, the $125 will be reduced. It's higher than any other town, but since we didn't get that done in time for this season, all the landscapers are paying the $125. Just in keeping with the information with Resolution 7112, with Hackensack doing our recycling, the recycling day will be changing to Wednesday. We'll start notifying residents, and so we don't have an exact start date because we want to make sure that everybody knows that it will be Wednesday now. And with regard to the e-ticketing, as Councilman Ballerini said, tomorrow will be the first installation, which is the first step in getting this activated. But there is a 2-week period. We're waiting for the AOC to approve it, which happens after the certification, and then hopefully we'll be up and running. And finally, I think that the mayor and council should feel pretty good about the job that the DPW has been doing with regard to both the fields, which was evident at opening day, and also the fact that they've done a lot of work at the pool. So I think we're a little ahead of schedule compared to previous years, and I'm happy that that's happening. And that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Chuck?
Only that the division of local government, only that the division of local government has sent an email out saying that they are swamped with budgets, and they expect that they may not be complete with the review when we come time to adopt. So do not be surprised if the adoption is after the hearing sometime. That's the only news that we have from here.
Briefly, the Mayor's Economic Redevelopment Committee met for the first time last week. Made some good progress discussing certain areas of the town that the committee is going to focus on to help ensure that all the income-producing properties in town are living up to their highest potential, and looking into programs that can help them, and what the municipality can do to help businesses and business owners who choose to have their business in Maywood, and some of the properties that may not be as successful as they should and can be, I think. So it was basically an orientation type meeting, and we're going to get together again very shortly and see what kind of contacts we can make with the property owners, helping them out and helping the borough out also. Just to follow up what Dr. Meglio had indicated that the day in the park is going to be relocated, changed to a fall festival, hopefully. We're going to do some good things with that this year as a new event for the town. That is not going to change the fireworks that are scheduled for June 29th, still scheduled for the 29th. It's not going to change our grand parade that is still scheduled for July 4th. So those two events will continue as scheduled. Again, June 30th is the 118th anniversary of the founding of the town, so fireworks will kick off for that event as well. The Recycling Committee, as well as the Green Team, is co-sponsoring another townwide shred and electronics recycling event on May 19th. It will be held in the parking lot of Borough Hall. There's a lot of things going on May 19th in the borough. But this was a very successful program. The last time that we ran it, Councilman Fleischman and Councilman Borough were both participants. We wound up filling an entire box truck, thanks to the help of Mr. Ballerini, who contributed with electronic equipment, and the shredding went very well as well. I think it's going to be probably even more successful this year because we're going to be right out on Maywood Avenue, and I think a lot of people will see it. That'll be a good thing. Green Team is moving forward with the community garden and finalizing our request with Home Depot to hopefully get the contributions. There is a Sustainable Jersey grant that we will also be applying for that is returnable in the next couple of months. That hopefully we can get some funds out of that to help contribute to the community garden. The Budget committee, Citizens Budget Committee will be meeting again with the CFO this Thursday, as well as Councilman Savage and Councilman Bray and myself, to continue to go over the budget. I think that's about it. There was an item I had for close, but while we're on the topic of the budget, I just want to kind of point out, and again, thank the Citizens Committee that worked very hard, and thank everybody who's kind of worked hard on the budget. I think we're in very, very good shape this year on the municipal budget. I think it's something that everybody should be very proud of. It's a 1.18% increase. It is the lowest increase that this municipality has seen in over a decade. It is the first time in over 5 or 6 years that we've been below the countywide average in increases. And it is due, in part, to some of the hard cuts that have been made in salaries and benefits and perks and things of that nature since January. We're in very good shape, I think, this year. I'm very optimistic about this budget and where we're going to go over the next few weeks in making potentially even more changes to it. We will wind up this year with utilizing actually less of our fund balance, so that we will be in action than we've done in the last few years to offset the budget. So we will actually be in a stronger financial situation for cash flow going forward. And that's a great thing for this town. And quite frankly, with some of the things that I think we can accomplish over the next year, I think 2013 is going to be even better. So again, thanks to everybody on that Citizens Committee who's working. My intention, quite frankly, is after we adopt this budget, take a month off and we all start working on 2012. So 13 idea. So congratulations to everybody involved.
Clarification, Mr. Mayor, when you say month off, you mean just month off of budget talks?
Month off. I'm going to come off. But that being said, that's one more thing. Mr. Ballerini, Commissioner Ballerini's point. I'd like to thank police for doing a very good job. We had a lockdown situation in Memorial School last week due to an event that was transpiring very close to the school, and I think it was handled very well. The children were never in any kind of danger, or I don't think many of the children even knew that it was going on, but I think it worked pretty well from my understanding and talking with the officials over at the school and with the chief, and I congratulate the police department for doing a very good job. And one more issue on the e-ticketing. We've adopted the e-ticketing tonight. For everybody that may not fully understand why we did that, e-ticketing currently, right now, the way the police officer gets a police ticket book is they physically get a book that's handed out by the municipal court, kept track of by the municipal court. Each ticket has to be kept track of in accordance with the administrative office of the court's regulations. They all have to be entered physically by hand once they are turned in by the police officers. This e-ticketing will eliminate a large administrative process for the municipal court and will streamline things a lot for the municipal court and take away the need for hand entering tickets and accounting for ticket books. So it's a good thing, and I think it's going to help out the municipality greatly. So that being said, we have a couple of closed sessions. Can I borrow my sheet there? Take a motion on the closed session. Second.
Yes.
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 Be resolved by the mayor and council of Maywood pursuant to provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act that the mayor and council meet in closed session to discuss the following subject matters: personnel and litigation, which is subsection 7 and subsection 8. We further resolve that which has to be determined at this time, discussion conducted in the said closed sessions can be disclosed to the public upon taking final action thereon, provided disclosure shall not violate the attorney-client's privilege or constitute undue invasion of privacy. We further resolve that the mayor and council of the Borough of Maywood do not envision that they will return to open session after this meeting, but reserve the right to do so.